What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I just found something that I got a lot of help trying to understand a little bit more. I've been speaking to my friends AAWSAP Rocky, for example, and Missileman, who's very perceptive. And one of the biggest mysteries out of all of ufology is the time when Ross Coulthart said that there was a massive UFO, that a building was built around it because it was too big to move, and that he couldn't say where it was. And there's been a lot of speculation about the potential location of this place. And people have said that it's in Australia. People have said that it's in South Korea, which is part of one of the videos that I did. I can't really say where it really is, but I caught something that Ross may have misspoken during his most recent interview with Jesse Michels. The very last question Jesse asked him was about this topic. And just please listen to what he said in this little tidbit and let me know if I'm just imagining things or not.
And so in the case of the buried UFO, I can't reveal, because if I reveal why I say this, it would compromise it. It's a very sensitive place. That should be enough of a guide for you. And to reveal the full extent of what I know would compromise the lives of young men and women who are doing good things for America, completely separate from the UAP program, and they're probably oblivious to what's sitting downstairs. And so in the case of the buried UFO, I can't reveal, because if I reveal why I say this, it would compromise it. It's a very sensitive place. That should be enough of a guide for you. And to reveal the full extent of what I know would compromise the lives of young men and women who are doing good things for America, completely separate from the UAP program, and they're probably oblivious to what's sitting downstairs.
I played it twice because I want you to please listen carefully to what he said. It's a very sensitive place. People who are working for America are oblivious to this. Their lives will be compromised. So if you think about that statement, there are very few places, or literally only just one place in the world, that would have Americans working, and a lot of them, other than in America. Where would you think that is? An embassy. So this goes into a really deep rabbit hole that I was talking about yesterday with some of these people that I tell you about, whom I talked to a lot about different wild topics. And one of the wildest ones is a video I did a few months ago about a FOIA request, where you can see that somebody from Hillary Clinton's staff requested documents pertaining to, and I quote, the tomb of Gilgamesh. And that leads into a really deep rabbit hole. If you guys did not know, the whole Epic of Gilgamesh and the Sumerians come from one place, which is Sumer. But in modern day, that place is Iraq. And one of the biggest US embassies in the world, if not the biggest, is in Baghdad in Iraq. So just so you see the scope and the size, this is just the main building, but the whole embassy is a complex of buildings, not just that one. So are you ready for the big rabbit hole? Friend of mine, AAWSAP Rocky, shout out to AAWSAP Rocky. I'm going to leave links in the description for this video that he put out months ago too, about the Iraq and ancient artifacts rabbit hole that has to do also with the tomb of Gilgamesh, and when it was announced that it may have been discovered. It was even in a BBC article, if you guys didn't know. Who is this man right here? This man, his name is retired U.S. Army intelligence analyst Edward Keith Albert. And back in February 15, 2023, he gave an interview to UFO researcher and journalist Lynda Moulton Howe, who has a channel called Earth Files. He talked to her about this operation that they were ordered to go to Iraq and retrieve artifacts. And this is what happened. Shout out to my man, AAWSAP Rocky, who put together this video, and see if you can spot the big elephant in the room and the potential clue to where this massive UFO may be. Because, yeah, Ross did misspeak. He said that Americans are working there. There are many of them, and they're oblivious to it. And what they're doing there is work for America. So that really narrows it down to an embassy, really. If you know any other place where there are a lot of Americans working for America, let me know, because I think that is an embassy. And just a few more facts. That American embassy in Baghdad has tens of thousands of Americans there. So it is massive. And I still don't know if this massive UFO is beneath that embassy, which is actually right beneath Babylon, the city. There are a lot of different theories that this goes way back into the Sumerians and these gods and the whole Anunnaki rabbit hole. There's even people who think that this massive ship, if it exists and if it's there, could be from these beings. I don't know if that's real, but that's where the rabbit hole takes you. So shout out to AAWSAP Rocky for this. Here it is.
We're going into Iraq to get artifacts?
Hold on to your butts. I got another rabbit hole for you. It's pretty common knowledge now that the invasion of Iraq was based on false pretenses.
So it says here, in March 2003, U.S. forces invaded Iraq, vowing to destroy Iraqi weapons of mass destruction and the dictatorial rule of Saddam Hussein. When WMD intelligence proved illusory and a violent insurgency arose, the war lost public support. Saddam was captured, tried, and hanged, and democratic elections were held. In the years since, there have been over 4,700 U.S. and allied troops deaths, and more than 100,000 Iraqi civilians have been killed. Meanwhile, questions linger over Iraq's fractious political situation.
The justification was weapons of mass destruction. People think maybe we invaded for oil, but could it have been something else? Some say that Bush wanted to finish what his dad started with Desert Storm. So how does this relate to hieroglyphics on UFOs? Well, during the first invasion of Iraq, the Baghdad Museum was looted. So let's entertain the idea that an ulterior motive for the war was to collect artifacts. This would actually be backed up by a whistleblower testimony in 2020 on Earth Files.
We're going into Iraq to get artifacts? Not to get anything but artifacts. That was the most important thing, they said.
But which artifacts?
I don't know. They just said artifacts. There were things in Iraq that were so old that we had to go get. And Bush wanted those artifacts. It was very important.
Did we get them? And if so, where did they go?
We got them. They said they got everything they needed from that country.
Where is it?
I don't know. We have it. Like you're looking for the Ark of the Covenant type stuff. You know, weapons like that. It's a weapon.
So whatever it is, we got it. What was it? This is going to sound crazy. In 2003, a team of archaeologists claimed that they might have found the tomb of Gilgamesh. Yes, the one from the epic, the half-god giant Nephilim Gilgamesh. But before they could complete their investigation, the Iraq War begins. And we set up our camp right on top of ancient Babylon. And this is so
Did you hear that? Right on top of it.
problematic because of all the damage that was done.
Stuff happens, and it's untidy, and freedom's untidy, and free people are free to make mistakes, and commit crimes, and do bad things.
Finally, on April 29th, 2003, this story runs in BBC announcing the discovery. So days after this article runs, we declare the war a success, but we didn't find weapons of mass destruction.
Ain't that weird? And this connection is really funny because Hobby Lobby is a store of Christian memorabilia. And listen to this.
Coincidentally, one of the most important tablets which was looted in 1991 was the Gilgamesh Dream tablet. And it popped up back in 2019 in the hands of the owner of Hobby Lobby at his religion museum. And later we made what I believe is the biggest embassy in the world, right on top of ancient Babylon.
Hello. So, wow. I know that this has been talked about as a possibility on Reddit before, this massive UFO potentially being hidden beneath the Baghdad embassy of the US. But I didn't know about this. I hadn't made the connections, so that's why I'm talking about it. Now this.
In Tom DeLonge's Secret Machine series, there's actually a major plot point of searching for these ancient tablets.
The book, what's in the book, everything I've been telling you.
And these tablets have some sort of magical power. Reminder that this is fiction, but he did have advisors within the government. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and give me a follow for more.
Shout out to AAWSAP Rocky. Fun fact, AAWSAP Rocky is the only person from the UFO community besides Christian Harloff whom I know in person, and I met him last summer. And I'm going to leave links to his Instagram account, which is really cool, in the description, and to this video specifically too, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, that's apparently what seems like a possibility, that this massive UFO may be beneath an embassy, and the biggest one that we can think of is the Baghdad one. There are plenty of reasons why this would be the case. I just presented you with one of the potential rabbit holes, but there are other like correlations or points that you can link to this. Another one was that in the early 2000s in Afghanistan, according to military personnel who were driving a helicopter, they saw what they described as a giant that was already dead, and it was going to be translated to the US. And this case is covered by Timothy Alberino on his channel completely. So you guys should check that out too. But that is another connection to the Middle East and to perhaps the biggest rabbit hole of them all, which is the one about humanity's real history or potential real history. It's just a possibility. I think Ross really misspoke here. He did it by accident, but thank you, Ross, for misspeaking. Now we got another rabbit hole to go through. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's there? Do you think it's South Korea? Do you think it's Australia? Let me know. And what do you think about the whole connection with these artifacts in the Iraq war? I'll be listening to you and hearing you in the comments. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's all you need to do to help us, and it is what helps us the most, so thank you. But if you want to support us in any other way, there's a few links down there you can choose from. You can become a member in YouTube, or you can support us through KGRA. Anything you choose to do is always appreciated, so thank you. That's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive, like AAWSAP Rocky. Always. Bye.